Awesome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Katie Cleesby, and I am the founder of Rexpert, and this is your weekly Wellness Wednesdays. And each week we have a different topic and an expert speaker. And this week we have Shannon Curvey, and very excited. She's going to be talking to you about from resolutions to results, how to set realistic fitness goals, and let Shannon tell you more about what she does. She's the owner of Function Fitness and super knowledgeable. We're really excited to listen to her presentation and get geared up for 2024 fitness goals. This is the time of year we've got some people coming in. So I welcome Shannon. Thanks so much for being here today.
Welcome. Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here this afternoon. And so as Katie said, my name is Shannon Curvey. I am the owner of Function and Fitness, where we bridge the gap from healthcare to fitness through post-rehab training, post-rehab personal training, and therapeutic massage. And so one of the things that we do most is take people and work with them on stability and mobility, and really just getting them back to the active lives that they enjoy, so that they can set these fitness resolutions and crush them, right? So Katie asked me here today to speak to you about setting realistic fitness goals, not just setting them, but setting them so that they yield actual results, right? Because that's why we set the goals, because we want to be successful. We want positive outcomes. We want to be successful. But setting realistic and attainable goals is one of the probably bigger parts of what we do here at Function and Fitness. We spend a lot of time trying to understand what our clients want, what they need, what their injury is. A lot of times they sustain the injury doing something active, right? Bike riding, hiking, playing tennis, playing golf, right? And so when they are recovering, or once they're better, they want to get back to those activities. And so we do have to set realistic goals, time, right? We have to consider the time that it's going to take to get to those goals. Injury throws in a whole different obstacle, right? It's not just, oh, I'm busy. Oh, I got the work day. But no, I have an injury that I have to consider. And so the goals that I set in terms of my activity have to be very specific. And so that's, like I said, what we typically do. We focus on stability and mobility, but we do find it very, very important to still set these realistic goals. We have to determine all the things, consider how realistic it is for their condition. We have to consider, like I said before, how much time is going to take. We got to get all of the details. And actually, so do you. If you're setting a New Year's resolution, you would want to consider all of the things that may play into your ability to realize that resolution. Katie, real quick, I'm going to pause for a second. I just want to share my slides here, if that's okay.
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right, so we'll probably see less of me and more of the slides, which is fine. And go for it. There we go. Sweet.
Perfect.
Okay, so you can see my slide there. Okay, sweet. So I just want to drop a statistic here. This is not very encouraging, I know, but that's why we're here. So our statistic says that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions complete them. Like that's crazy, right? 9%. That is, it's not super encouraging, but I think it's also the fact that a lot of us are not setting resolutions properly. So research actually goes on to say that 23% of the people quit their resolution by the first week. The first week, 23% of people are quitting. Like that alone is also not very encouraging. And 43% quit by the end of January. Okay, so as I was talking about, like time, right? Like setting a timely goal, like understanding how much time it's going to take to reach the goal that you set. Sometimes we set too lofty goals. Sometimes the goal is just too big. And, by the first week, you're like, oh, screw it. I'm going to go back to what I did the year before, well, I gave it the best shot, I'm moving on to something else. So as we chat today, I want you to think about, like, will you be one of the 9% that complete your New Year's resolution, or will you be one of the 91% that fail? There's certain things that you have to do in order to be part of the 9%, and that's pretty much what we're here to talk about. So we're going to jump right into it. SMART goals. Right? SMART goals is probably one of the most beneficial ways to set goals. There's an acronym, obviously. So SMART goals, the S is for specific, the M is our measurable, the A is attainable, R is relevant, and our T is time bound. And so if we set goals with these words in mind, then we will definitely be more likely to be one of the 9%, not the 91% that back out of our goal. Go to my next slide here. So as I said, I do want to kind of spend a little bit of time talking about SMART goals, or a lot of bit of time, actually. That's what we're here for. And so defining your SMART goal. Let's look at it. So specific, like being specific about setting a goal is not just, I want to get in shape. Okay. I want to get in shape. Like, what kind of shape? What does that mean? What does getting in shape mean to you? Because what it means to you and what it means to me might be totally different. Me saying I want to get in shape may mean that I want to be able to bench press 150 pounds, right? For somebody else, getting in shape may mean I want to run 3 miles. And so getting in shape, we have to be more specific. So yeah, so you can't just say, I want to get in shape, or I want to eat healthy. That's not enough. We need to be specific and say something like, I want to walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes. I want to walk a 15-minute mile, right? I want to eat 3 meals a day, right? If that's your goal. I want to drink more water, and not just more water, right? Then we have to be a little bit more specific about how much more water. How much water are you drinking right now? Okay, so to just say, I want to drink more water, that could be another ounce, right? And so, which is fine, right? If it's just another ounce that you want to increase, then we'll go with that 1 ounce. But again, we got to be specific with this particular goal. Your goal should also be measurable. You should be able to measure day 1 versus day 21, and be able to see an improvement, not just, oh, I think I've gotten better. Oh, I think, I feel better. I think I'm in shape now, right? How do you know? Can you measure it? Can you step on the scale and see that you've lost, 5 pounds? Can you measure your body fat and see that you have increased your muscle mass? Are you keeping an exercise log and tracking how many steps you're taking, how many miles you walked, how many, laps you swam, or whatever your goal is? You have to be able to track it. You have to be able to measure how far you've come. Okay. We all have, I won't say all, but a lot of us have activity trackers. You've got an Apple Watch, you've got a Fitbit, you've got, I'm a Samsung girl, so I got a Samsung watch, right? And so those track your steps, whether you want them to or not. They track your steps, and they let you know if you hit your, I don't know, 2,500, 5,000 step, 10,000 step, whatever you set your goal as, it will let you know. And that is actually a way to measure your progress. You can go back into your app and see on which days you walked, your 10,000 steps. So keep track of those things. Having a measurable goal also helps you to stay motivated, right? If you go back and you look at what you've been tracking and you're seeing that you're improving, what better way to keep going than to see that progress, right? And of course, it won't always be linear. We have bad days. It's raining outside. It's freezing outside. Maybe you don't go out and go for a walk, or something else gets in the way. Life gets in the way, and so you may take a step back. But as long as you are maintaining a forward momentum, you should be able to track that, and that generally is going to help keep you motivated. The next one is our A. How attainable? How attainable is this goal, right? So you do want to set a goal that's going to be challenging, but still achievable. You don't want to set a goal that is way out of reach. If you've never been in a gym to lift weights, setting a goal to deadlift 500 pounds, in the next month is probably not attainable, right? Like that's just not going to happen. You have to be an amazing individual in order for, something like that to take place. But, yeah, so you want to make sure that it is attainable. You've never run a mile, but you want to run a marathon next month. Probably not going to happen. Probably you might walk a marathon, but you won't run a marathon in that amount of time. Another one, like I've heard, I want to lose 10 pounds this week. That's probably not attainable. You can lose 10 pounds, absolutely. And you can lose some weight within a week, absolutely. But 10 pounds, not realistic, not attainable, right? So again, you want the goal to be a challenge, but you also want it, you want to be able to put some effort into it, right? If I try a little bit harder, I can get there. I can't keep doing what I'm doing and expect the same result, right? That's not a thing. All right. Let's move on to our R. So relevance. So the R, sometimes the R is for relevant, sometimes it's realistic. All right. I kind of use them sometimes interchangeably, the R, but for today, it's going to be relevant. So you want to make sure that your goals align with your overall fitness needs and interests. You can say something like, I want to improve my core strength to help prevent back pain, right? That's relevant, right? If you are a person who has back pain, or you a person that has maybe a rotator cuff issue, right? You want to improve your core, you want to improve your shoulder strength to support your rotator. You want to improve your hip stability so you can improve your golf swing, right? You want to improve your rotation so that your tennis serve is more powerful, right? And so let's make it relevant. Like your goal should be your goal, not something that maybe somebody else has given you, right? Or something that you don't really enjoy anyway. Like I'm not a person, I don't enjoy running. So for me to say, oh, my New Year's resolution is to run 10 miles. Yeah, that's probably, that's a surefire way for me to fail. I don't even like to run. So why would I strive to run that distance, right? When I know that it's really going to be a mental challenge. It kind of goes against my grain. So, keep that in line, keep it relevant to you, what your interests are. Interest is a huge thing. You have to be interested in this goal. So again, you want it to be something that you have given yourself, not something that somebody else is giving you. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, Susan, I think you should set a goal to stop drinking Coca-Cola, right? But you love Coca-Cola, and you know that if you completely cut out Coca-Cola, you will be an animal. You will be unpleasant because you need the caffeine, but yet you agree to it. So knowing that about yourself, you're probably not going to be very successful there. Okay. So again, your goal should fit your interests, fit your needs for health and fitness, and nobody else's. All right. T is our last one. T is time bound. Give yourself a time frame to reach your goal. Open-ended goals are probably not going to be met. All right. Procrastination is a thing. All right. Unless you have a deadline, unless you have set some time frame for reaching this goal, chances are you probably might not get there. All right. We can put it off. We can put it off for eternity. Yes, this may be a New Year resolution, but that's new for this year, right? It could roll on for the next year and the next year. Like, how many of us have set the same New Year resolution year after year after year, right? And we're like, oh yeah, no, this year is going to be the year. This is the year that I'm going to get in shape. All right. So that alone is a problem. Okay. So let's put some time on it. Let's say, break it up into smaller increments. Maybe you initially set a 30-day goal. Maybe it's a 90-day goal, right? That's the great thing about SMART goals, is that they can be adjusted, right? And they probably should be adjusted as you move closer to your goal. Again, as I gave the example of losing 10 pounds in a week, right? Okay, great that we have a time frame. We gave the 1 week time frame, but something would have to adjust. Either we reduce the amount of pounds that we want to lose in that time frame, or we extend the time frame out a little bit longer so that we can be a little bit more successful. All right. So again, having a time frame can help keep you motivated. Something more realistic, as I was using the weight goal, something more like, I want to lose 15 pounds in 3 months. And I say that because scientifically, research says that we can lose, up to 2 pounds a week, right? If we are modifying our intake as well as exercising. Realistically speaking, most people lose 1 to 1.5 pounds a week when they're being when they're putting in the effort. And so to shoot to do something more than that, it's not safe, nor is it maintainable. Okay, so let's be realistic. Let's understand the time that it may take, maybe because this may require some research, or talking to an expert, a fitness expert. I know one. Talking to somebody who may be able to help you, set this goal, I think is a great idea, because a lot of times, we come up with these resolutions, sometimes it's out of the blue, right? And we don't really know what may be required. So there are more knowledgeable people in this world about a lot of different things. And so to reach out to one of those folks to find out, is this realistic? Is this goal realistic? Is this time frame realistic? Can you help me set a more SMART goal, right? So right now, what I want to do is I want to take a couple of minutes and allow you some time to think about a goal, right? Write it down. I'm going to leave the slide up so you can see the acronym and refer to that as you're setting your goal. Okay. So I just want to, give us Katie, is that okay? Give us like a minute or two.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay. All right. So so we'll take like a minute or two just to jot down a goal. Consider it to be a specific goal, a measurable goal, an attainable goal, a relevant goal, a time-bound goal, all of those things. And then we'll carry on from there. All right, we'll go about 30 seconds more. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get something written down or put into like your notepad.
Do you want us to share?
Sure, that was my next question. Would anybody like to share?
I'll share. And you can also share in the chat too, for those who don't want to verbally share. Okay, so I've just been doing cardio for the last 10 years of my life, doing Ironmans, swim, bike, run. So my goal for 2024 is include weightlifting workout into my weekly fitness routine twice a week for 1 hour, by adding it on my schedule, and have a consistent routine by the end of 3 months.
I like it. I like it. It sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, so I think you hit all the points. I heard the specifics. I heard the time. I heard it all. It's good. Good, good, good.
Thanks.
Anybody else want to share? Put it in the chat if you like.
Do you have one too?
Mm-hmm. I do. I was going to give others opportunities to to share before I jump in, but yeah. So I have one. Mine is to improve leg strength. Yes, improve my leg strength, to be able to squat 200 pounds.
Mm.
I'm probably around 115 right now, weight in terms of what I can squat. And let's see, I will complete, kind of like you, two strength training sessions a week, focus specifically on leg exercises. I'll do more strength training, but as we're talking about legs, so two a week just for legs. Keep a exercise log to chart my progress. And sorry, one sec. So yeah, so I'll keep a log to chart my progress. My goal is between September 1 and December 1st. I should reach this goal if, well, I'm gonna say if, as I stay on track. So September 1 to December 1st, September 1 gives me about 9 months from January. And if I'm increasing by 5% each month, I did the math, I should be there by September 1. If I give time for life to do what life does, December 1st is probably a little bit more realistic. September 1 means that I'm very consistent, means that I'm not missing a week, not missing a day, and actually showing up and giving 100%. But again, I'm a human, life happens. It'll probably be December before I do that. And so, yes, so increase my leg strength to allow me to squat 200 pounds. My rep range is 3 to 5 times. I'm not looking to do, 20 reps. I just want to be able to, move it a few times and celebrate and say that I did it. this role, I said this goal is relevant to me because it'll provide me strength and mobility to perform my activities that I enjoy, such as playing golf and playing basketball. Well, we'll get to this in a minute, but I had a knee injury and a ruptured Achilles some years back. And so leg strength is how I maintain my mobility. I have found that as long as my legs are strong, I can do whatever I want to do, basically. And so as I go through this, if you notice, I'm hitting all of the points. On that first slide, I covered the time, I covered the attainable, and I covered the specific goal. So here we're going to highlight measure, how I measure it. Like I said, I'm increasing by 5% each month, and I'll keep a log that helps me, know what I lifted on my last session. Excuse me. Why is this relevant to me? Again, I had surgeries, on my knee and my Achilles. And so that has, just by the pure act of having a surgery, like it creates a deficit, right? Our bodies have been altered. Anytime you cut into a muscle, you're creating, a discrepancy in your movement patterns. Your fascia has now been altered, and so that makes you move a little bit different. For me, it has resulted in hip tightness, and so again, my leg strength, hip strength, and mobility are super important for all of the activities that I enjoy. So being able to keep them strong by doing this goal, I say challenge, but this goal is going to be helpful.
Shannon, in the chat, our other attendee said to reduce stomach fat, researching foods that support this, and lose about 10 pounds, eat healthier meals. Oh, she broke it down. Gotcha.
Yes.
Or he
yes.
broke it down. Yeah. Prepare meals
Gotcha.
daily in 16-18 intermittent fasting. Wow, that's super specific. Great job.
Yeah.
Fitness after some time, since starting out very slow. Well, way to make a SMART goal. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, the details matter. The details are what, like I said, the details are what keep us motivated. I think the details also create some smaller goals or smaller challenges within the larger goal. And so I feel like you do have a little bit more success, or at least, yes, you have a little bit more success. You also have a little bit more encouragement, as you're working through, and maybe you don't hit them all, but you may succeed in one part of the goal and then, struggle or still have some challenges with the other parts, but it certainly will, keeps you going there. So thank you for sharing that goal. That was pretty awesome. Very detailed, just the way that we want it. And so I'm gonna go to my next slide here, maybe. There it is. Ooh, nope, go back. Go back. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about relevance. Oh, I covered the time in the first slide there. But making sure, I can't stress enough, like making sure that you are specific about what it is that you are after. Vagueness does not benefit us in terms of setting goals. And so, now that we know what the acronym is, now that we know kind of what to consider when we're setting our resolutions or when we're setting our goals. And I like to actually use goal versus resolution. Resolution is just saying you're going to do something, right? Like I have a resolution to squat 200 pounds, right? But there's nothing behind it. There's no substance behind that. It's just something I said that I was going to do. right? That's where it starts, yes, but the next step is to plan, make that plan, what it's going to look like, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, right? That inspires action. So just saying you're going to do something, we can say we're going to do a whole lot of things, right? I'm going to go to the moon, but I have no way to get there. I don't know when that's going to happen. There's a lot of things that we can say that we're going to do, but once we start taking steps to make these goals happen, right? Make them more specific, make them measurable, make them attainable, make them realistic and relevant, put a time frame on it. Then they become real. So I'm going to start to wrap up here. And just have a couple of questions. And I don't know if you can answer in the chat. And hopefully by now we see that setting vague or realistic goals, how easily this leads to failure. Like that's a lot of how 91% of people who set resolutions, that's how they fail, right? They're just saying that they're going to do something without actually putting a plan in place. Let's see. Oh, the other part, kind of the bonus part that I forgot to mention, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, but there's an accountability factor here. Okay. So if you tell somebody that you have a goal, right, in conversation or either meaning to or not, chances are they're going to follow up with you, right? They're going to say, hey, Katie, you said you had this, this New Year's resolution to hit the gym, hit the weights, get a bit stronger. That was in January. It's March. How you doing? Are you still going to the gym? Right. And so I encourage you to find an accountability partner. Find somebody who is going to remind you of your goal, right? This could be a workout partner. This could be a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, could be your trainer. But find an accountability partner who is going to encourage you and kind of egg you on. Setting goals and trying to achieve these things can be very challenging, right? Life gets in the way. And sometimes you need that person to kind of push you and remind you why you started. There's a book, Begin with the End in Mind, or it's like, know your why, right? Know your why. Understand why you are doing these things and tell somebody, right? And then we'll help you and to encourage you along the way.
And also plug for next week. That is next week's topic. Cindy Bettino, the happiness coach. I'm sure you know Cindy Bettino. She does the Sterling Women. She's doing a workshop on knowing your why to follow up on your SMART goals. So
sweet. See, I didn't even know that. Perfect. 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 And so, the other thing is, as I wrap, your goals can be altered. We talked about this. You can change your goals as you go. Maybe you wanted to go to the gym, 3 days a week, but you realize that your schedule only allows you to make it there twice, right? And so you have to alter it, and maybe you do 2 times a week in the gym and you do 1 day at home because time or whatever, because of whatever the challenge is. And so alter them along the way, but still keep them challenging, still allow all of the other factors to be at play there. Okay. So just to summarize and wrap it all up, I see something's in the chat. One sec.
Oh, sorry. I was
next
just
week.
putting.
That's you.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Yep. You're good. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing a comment or something. And so, setting goals wisely can make a difference. But this doesn't always mean that you won't experience failure, right? You still need to put in the effort in order to achieve your success, right? You still got to do the work. We can still alter, make adjustments to your goal. The goal is to meet the goal, right? So we want to do everything that we can to be successful, except for quit. That's not an option. Quitting is not an option, right? So yeah, so I want to challenge you all to set a SMART goal. Okay, we started that today. So if you weren't able to finish in the time that we had today, continue working on that. Don't just set the resolution. Don't just say, oh, I want to give up sugar. What is the plan? How are you going to do that? Right? Write it down. That is huge. Write it down. Like that makes it real, it's tangible, and something that you will see in your own handwriting that says that, this is your goal, right? Or on your computer screen, whatever the case may be, that gives you ownership of your goal. So definitely write them down, share them with a friend who will hopefully keep you accountable to your goal. And I have a little PDF I wanted to share with you. Katie, can I put that in the chat also?
Of course, yeah. And you
Yeah,
can put it right up on your screen if you have it available too.
Oh yeah, I'll do that too.
But yeah, and yeah, I mean, I put my goals and things right in my Google Calendar. Oops, maybe they just came in a little bit late. We have one person who just came in. I wonder if it was like this was Eastern time. Sometimes people come from all over the world in the United States. Yeah, so I have a calendar like for when I did my Ironmans for the last 2 years, like that's massive, the Ironman.
Yeah.
So you can't just jump to 140.6.
Right.
You have to do a little by little. And so I would have these monthly calendars and I would print them out, put them on my refrigerator, and I would literally check off old school with a pen, like what I did each workout. And it just felt so good. If I didn't do it, then I would have to move it and shift it. So right. Gosh, there's lots of people coming in now, so I wonder they're just a little bit late.
Catching the tail end of things. Sweet. So it's just a little PDF. It's a recap. Talks about basically what we talked about here, the SMART goals. I'm going to try to share this real quickly. There we go. So you have this to refer to. Okay, so again, it just talks about, all the letters, the acronym for SMART. There's some contact information for me there. Also, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, or if you want me to help you with setting your SMART goal, then, please reach out to me for that also. What I also, while preparing for this, I found out that there is an app that it's only for Apple though. So unfortunately, only for Apple, but there's an app that allows you to track your goals, right? It's on your phone. It's called Stride. Such a Stride app. I'm gonna type that in here also. strideapp.com. And you can basically use this app to chart your progress for whatever your SMART goal is. Okay. Unfortunately, like I said, it's only for Apple users. Us Android folks will be left out. Okay. Lastly, I do have this is a shameless plug for me. I do have a Facebook group that is called Better Functional You, and it is designed to help us be better, right? Help us make changes, help us to, it's just a community of people that are trying to be better, right? Do different things, whether it's eating well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so the Better Functional You group is designed to just help people to be supported as they try to make changes to improve their lives. Like I said, it could be meditation, it could be nutrition, it could be exercise, could be including some self-care. Yeah, all of those things. So look for us on Facebook. Follow us. We're on Instagram, we're on, Facebook, all the things. And so, yeah, so any questions, comments, or concerns, we'll open that up now and let you guys, ask away.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for making those SMART goals is so important for being successful. Like you're so right. So many people, 91%, as you said earlier, just kind of say, I'm going to, lose weight, get back into X, Y, Z. They don't write it down. They're not, think about it. So it's really the first step in being successful, is breaking it down. So it's super important. So thank you so much for this good information. And we recorded this, and it will go on YouTube as well. And you can rewatch it if you need some reminders, or if you need Shannon's information, and I'll resend it to those who had signed up, who didn't get here today. And I apologize for the spammers in Zoom. I had heard that's happened to people in the past. It's the first time it's happened to me, but I just reported every single one of them that came through to Zoom. So we're not going to let it rattle us. So we're going to move forward. We're 2024 for our resolution. So thank you so much, Shannon.
You are welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Is there anything else? We've got the Stride app from TQQ. He's a great presentation. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, TQQ, for attending. And actually, Shannon, if you don't mind sending me that SMART goal handout, I can send that out with the recording once it's up on YouTube to everybody. And then you'll have access to that information as well. So
great. We'll do.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your week, and cheers everybody to 2024. And let us know if you need any questions. Thanks again. Bye.